Hi everyone, welcome back to Vedic Life Coaching. Thank you so much for joining me. And welcome to the Sidereal Vedic Astrology Outlook for the Rahu Ketu shift. We're going to have the nodes shift into new signs. We're going to have Rahu shift into Aquarius. We're going to have Ketu shift into Leo. I'm so excited about this shift. It's going to last about a year and a half. It starts at the end of May. I'm recording this on the 7th of May. So we're going to have this shift start at the end of this month and it will go right through to November 2026. And I'm excited about this shift because I think it's going to be great for creative people. It's going to be great for entrepreneurs. It's going to be great for anyone who wants to start something new. It's also going to bring more social energy. If you haven't been socializing, if you haven't been going out very much, this could be the transit to really get you out and about more, which I think is going to be good. You know, ever since the Saturn in Capricorn transit 2020 to 2023, a lot of people are still not venturing out into the world as much. I think a lot of people have got used to their comfort zone being at home. But I think this is the transit that's going to get people out and about more. We've also got Saturn in Pisces, which as well, I think that is also going to encourage foreign travel, people connecting with people overseas, travel groups, or all this kind of thing. Uniting, coming together. That's definitely the Piscean vibe. Guys, if you missed my Saturn in Pisces video, definitely watch that one. It's a very good companion video to this one. We're going to be having a look at Rahu, who's going to go into Aquarius, but you know, the Lord of Rahu is there in Pisces. So it's very important to watch both of these videos this year. And these are two videos that you can check in with towards the end of the transit. Come and watch them again and see, all right, what applied, what I'm going to say here came true or worked out or whatever it is. So now I'll give you the dates of the shift and I'm going to put them on the screen. You'll see I've got here 30th May 2025 to 26 November 2026. Now, if you're watching other astrological videos and they have different dates, that would be because they might be using mean node. I'm pretty sure, now I use Parasharas Lite 9.0 and this software, the previous versions of this software, it used to allow me to change the nodes. This current version of the software does not allow me to change mean node or true node, or I don't have that ability to change it. So these are the dates that the software is giving me, so I'm just going to put them on the screen. But if you watch other astrologers and they have slightly different dates, don't be too alarmed. It's just that different software calculates this slightly differently. But you can just sort of take it to be end of May through to November 2026. It's mainly the bulk of, it's a year and a half. So even if the dates are slightly different, it doesn't matter too much. Now, some of you will be experiencing a nodal return, okay? And I'm going to put the dates for that on the screen. So if you were born from November 2006 to April 2008, this will be your first nodal return. You are probably about 18 years old. For those who've been born March 1988 to October 1989, this is your second nodal return. You are probably about 37 at this point. If you were born July 1969 to Feb 1971, this is your third natal return. Now that would be 3755, thereabouts. I haven't got the ages written on my screen, but I know these off the top of my head because I work with these all the time. December 1950 to June 1952, this will be your fourth natal return. You'll be about 74. Now there is one more beyond that, and that's, I haven't got the dates written for that, but that would be someone who's aged perhaps about 92. I'll look up the dates. Maybe you're considering this for a parent. But equally, I do readings for people of absolutely all ages. I haven't done a reading for anyone in their 90s as yet, but I'm very glad to have more recently done some readings of people in their 80s. And thank you for booking me, guys. I love to do readings. It's for me, it's like every reading is an honor to read for everybody. But wow, when we have someone, you know, who's got a few decades under their belt, it's particularly special, because what we're able to do is we're able to go back through the Vimsho 3 Dasha system, and we're able to look at the chapters of your life and match them up, and you will be able to see that your life probably really did unfold on time, you know, and you did all the things that you were meant to do. So yeah, it's always wonderful to have a look at the ages, and of course these nodal return points are very important. Now, what does it mean if your nodes are returning? Okay, so if you've got your Rahu in Aquarius, and if you have, so your natal Rahu is in Aquarius in your birth chart, and your natal Ketu is in Leo in your birth chart, what does it mean? Well, it means that the nodes are syncing up, and they're going to check on how you are doing. This could potentially be a time of course correction for you, you know, because ideally we're heading more into the Rahu house, and we're leaving the security of the Ketu comfort zone. We're leaving that behind, and we're heading into that Rahu house. Now, if you've got Rahu in Aquarius, for you this will be about, let's have a think in the birth chart. This will be about becoming more independent. So it's good for you to be more independent. It's good for you to be unique. It's good for you to be an individual. It's good for you to have friends. It's good for you to be interacting with groups. It's good for you to be one of the people and not always be such a leader. Okay, so your Ketu in Leo, you're probably very used to being a leader, being alone. So it's interesting, Leo Aquarius axis is very interesting, because on the one hand you've got Leo who stands alone, but then you've got Rahu who is independent, yes, but not alone or lonely. Rahu is mixing in with the people. So that is what it'll mean if you have it in your birth chart. Now, what have I got here? The nodes will pass over the place where they were when you were born. They typically signify the end of a chapter in your life. Yes, and it's time for a new beginning of approximately 18 years. So what you'll find with the nodal return points is that every 18 years, your life changes significantly. And I typically see this definitely in the charts. In my female clients, I'll typically see, you know, from 0 to 18, well, 0 to 18, we're all just at school and doing all of that. But then 18 to 36, perhaps that's the time where they're dating, getting married. Then 36, 37 to 55 is where a lot of my female clients, they'll have children, 36, 37 onwards. And then that becomes an 18-year cycle. And then of course, you know, at 55, if the kids go to college and all that kind of thing, then you enter a new phase, a new 18-year phase where you are an empty nester, you know, and perhaps you're traveling or changing your career or doing something like that. And then, you know, 74 onwards, there are shifts there too. And then 92, there will be shifts there as well. Okay, so like this, we have a new 18-year chapter in front of us when we're at that nodal return point. I've got here, this is a time where you can reinvent yourself. You can do something you've always wanted to do. You might be being released basically into a fresh, new, energetic space. So that's particularly if you are at one of those nodal return points. I had a comment from one of you asking, what if transiting Rahu is going to pass over my natal Ketu, and transiting Ketu is going to pass over my natal Rahu. So that is a half return, that's a half nodal return, and that's important too. This happens every 9 years. Well, so it happens 9 years after your nodal return. I've got here, you can ideally use this time to course correct if needed. So one of you did say, that, you know, I'll be going through. But it's like Rahu is passing over natal Ketu, and the reverse for the other side. Yeah. So this is the other thing I would say about this time for you is that it could be a little bit confusing as well. So when we're dealing with the nodes, sometimes there's a confusing energy. These are tricky energies and they are hard to read. So that's also why it is good to have someone else read your chart, because especially if you don't do any soul work or inner reflective work, or, you know, spiritual work, if you're not doing any of that, then then the nodes can be tricky or misleading. I've got here, course correct. Yeah, you might need to clear some past that might be holding you back as well if you're experiencing that half nodal return. That's another thing to bear in mind. But the nodes being tricky and confusing, that is true. And that's also one of the reasons that on my Acuity scheduler, I make sure I block off the eclipse days. I never do a reading on an eclipse day because, yeah, the nodes are very active and it's not a good time to read. So let's have a look at the collective themes. How is this energetic shift going to impact the collective, the broader collective? Well, I'm pulling out a couple of things here to talk about. So let's start with Ketu in Leo. This is an interesting bit of news that I discovered recently. I've got here recently, the United Kingdom government has announced that they want to spend £50 million to block out the sun. Is that not just the maddest thing that you've ever heard? I could not believe it. I heard about this. I've heard about it on a few spiritual channels. And I was shocked. I was like, there is no way. Like, what is this? Anyway, got here, astrologically, this activity could go on while Ketu is in Leo. So until November 2026. And I've got here that this is likely to cause another awakening in the collective. I think every now and then they try some harebrained scam. And you know what I've discovered about these people? I think they're not interested in the execution or the completion of these plans because they're always executed badly and there's no question of completion. In fact, a mess is caused. And it's just massively destabilizing and it's unpleasant, and you know, and I've got here that, so a lot of spiritual people are talking about this, saying that, you know, this is more evidence of the war on light and love and all that kind of thing. I agree with that. But I think this is, let's not even be spiritual about it. Let's just be psychological. And we should be, because Rahu is in Aquarius. So Aquarius is all about being psychological and not really being spiritual. We get really spiritual when we go into Pisces. But here in Aquarius, we are psychological. And I've got here, it's as though the government is suffering from shopping addiction. That is what I would label this activity as being. It's like a mental sickness, or it's like a mental health issue, is what I think. Because, I mean, now, look, maybe if you're a scientist and there is some clever thing about this, and I could be convinced. I'm not saying that I'm right, but what I would say is to explore what is the need, what is the immediate need for this when we've got people who are starving in the United Kingdom, we've got people who need food and shelter and, you know, heating. People die in winter because it's too cold. Where is the concern or the care for that? And, you know, I live here in the United Kingdom and I have seen a deterioration in conditions. I've seen a deterioration in services. I have seen a deterioration in, you know, councils just even being able to keep up with rubbish on the streets, simple things. You know, there are some serious problems here, and I just don't understand why anyone would want to spend £50 million to block out the sun. I'm all for, you know, us looking after the environment. Absolutely. Of course, it's Mother Earth. Let's look after her. Let's, you know, but to block out the sun, I don't know. No, it really doesn't seem like the right thing for me. I wanted to bring up a comment by one of you, which was great. It was on the Saturn in Pisces video. And you've said, as an English person, I'm wondering if the royals are on their way out. We're going to talk about them next. Yes, that is part of this Ketu in Leo, so we're definitely going to talk about that. But you've got here, a large amount of people view them as corrupt parasites. Our MPs are claiming huge amounts of benefits to keep their dogs in second homes. Here we go. This is it. Paying for luxury shoes, £300 a day on luxury lunch at the taxpayer's expense, while they're enacting economic eugenics against disabled people and spending billions on illegal migrants. And you know, we can add to that spending £50 million to block out the sun in a country that doesn't get much sun. I mean, what is going on here? It's really crazy. And you've got written here, which I loved. This was the line that I really want to highlight and just read maybe a couple of times. You've written, I think it's coming to an end in the next few years. Yes, I agree with you. I'll read it again. I think it's coming to an end in the next few years. I do. I think things are going to change. Things are changing. I am seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of change. And you've also written here, I feel the rage in people every day. There is change afoot. Millions here live in absolute poverty, and they're slowly waking up to the fact that it's not their black transgender neighbor who's the problem, it's the ruling classes. Yes, yeah. And that's your Ketu in Leo. You've basically just defined it right here, that people are going to Ketu in Leo. Leo, the ruling classes. Ketu is like, can be an eclipsing type, cutting out, cutting off, isolating energy. You know, we're just not going to care about what they think. We don't trust them. We don't care about what they think. It's like, yeah, it's like they're out. They're not cool anymore. They're not in focus anymore. They're not, you know, I think maybe 50 or 60 years ago, people really looked up to, say, for example, the royal family and things like that. Nobody's really looking up to them now. You know, they're going on TV just complaining. I mean, it turned into like a Jerry Springer show or something. I don't know. It's like, it's bad. So there's a lot of change afoot. And you're right. I think it's just the next few years could be a real turning point in history for all of us. I know, I think it was a couple of videos ago, I talked about that we're in Kali Yuga. And I'm going to put on the screen just a link to my video where I talk about the yugas. You can have a look at that, guys. I know some of you in the video last time you mentioned, hey, don't you know that Sri Yukteswar, he said that we're in Dwarpa. I know about all that. I've read all of that. But the Puranas state something different. And I've gone on the side of the Puranas for now. Okay, so again, I'm open-minded. I could change my view on the are we in Kali Yuga or Dwarpa. I could be convinced of something else. But when I match up the life with the description of Kali Yuga, it's a match. And I think we are still in it. But I definitely think that we're in a very upward season here in Kali Yuga. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I Google searched this question. It's not the most pleasant question. Let's see if I can find it. I didn't click on any of the links. I'll put this on the screen just so that you can see what I looked up. So now this is not pleasant, but out of curiosity of the whole yoga thing, I had to just look this up. I questioned the search engine, how long ago were there beheadings on English streets? Unpleasant, we don't want to go there, but I was just looking for a couple of dates. And it said public executions were abolished in 1868. Right, okay. And then we've got here the last executions in the United Kingdom were by hanging and took place in 1964. So we've got here 1968. We've got here 1964 as a more recent date. But now look, you know, we've flown out of there. We're a lot less barbaric, okay? So this is good. We're on some kind of upward trend. We can really see that. Life is improving on this planet. I really want to stress that there's nothing to fear or to be worried about. But to the point of what the lovely commentator said in this comment, You've said, I feel the rage in people every day. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be angry about. So I don't think we need to be concerned or anxious or sad about the world or any of that, but angry, yes. And I think that's the Rahu and Aquarius energy, where we can use that anger to, and as well the Ketu in Leo energy. This is a creative energy, and we can use our anger to create new things now. You know, we don't want to keep doing things the same way. And there is a lot of change afoot. I'm seeing so much change. Let's head into the next collective theme I've got here, Ketu in Leo. There could be a suppression energy on the royal family. Let's talk about the royal family just briefly. Yeah, I've got here, they could be squeezed or slimmed down again, or it could be that a sense of status quo is maintained across this period. Sometimes Ketu is a sustaining energy. Sometimes it just keeps things going. I've seen this, how it operates by transit, that it can just keep things going. There's no growth but in that area, but it's maintained. So that could happen. I've got here, could cut something out possibly, but there is this sense of who are these people and do we need them? I know, and it's interesting, before studying astrology, I myself was, because I come from Australia, and in Australia we have the Republican movement, or we have the whole we don't need the royal family thing anymore, and I was always into that in Australia and as an Aussie. But now I'm here in the United Kingdom, and I've been here for a while, and I am keeping up with the news a bit with the royals, and I tune into various book club commentators and certain people who keep an eye on the whole royal thing. I think it will continue, realistically. I don't think that this country will ever get rid of the royal family. I think it will always be here. And now that I've studied astrology as well, I think it's due to my astrological studies that has made me think maybe other countries will get rid of them as the head of state, like Australia, for example. That might happen. But this country, I don't think it'll ever get rid of the royal family. I think they are a big part of the culture here, actually, sort of deep and embedded. And the other thing is, I think, like, Prince Harry has recently gone on the interview circuit, or well, it's not a circuit, he's just done one, but it's just, he's out there again, and do you know, I don't know, he's making them more popular. I think he's trying to bring them down or something. I don't know what he's trying to do. Because ideally he should just talk to them privately and quietly. So I'm not sure what he's doing there, but he's actually making them more popular. So that's what I see there. But anyway, Ketu in Leo, the royals, it's, yes, they will, I think they will carry on. Even though it's interesting, we've got a great comment here of someone saying, look, they could go, they're on their way out. Yeah, they themselves know that. They're slimming themselves down. You know, they know that, like, they're on some pretty thin ground. So, but I think they will maintain somehow and survive. That's what I predict with them. And astrologically, why is it that due to astrology I think that they will survive? It's because of the fifth house. It's because of Leo. There'll always be kings and queens in the world. So even if, let's say, the royal family disappear or something like that, there's always going to be someone enormously rich and powerful. So, you know, there's always that in popular culture. You know, we had Michael Jackson. In fashion, we had Karl Lagerfeld, the king, the Kaiser. There's always some royal, regal person who becomes world famous and is ultra rich and all of that. Now, Ketu in Leo, what else will this do in the collective? I think culturally, we're going to have more art. Comedians are coming back online, which I'm loving. I've heard about a prominent comedian in India who is standing up for the people. he's being the voice of the people, and he's kind of pointing out, you know, double standards in culture, or that how is it that the rich get all these privileges and we're being treated badly, this kind of thing. I'm not too up on this story, guys, so please go easy on me in the comments. I don't know much about this person. I've just heard a little bit. That's why I'm not going to name the name, but I have heard that comedy is making a comeback in India, and I just think that's a good thing. And well, anyway, another comedian that I wanted to point you to, which is at Real Chinese Trump. I'll just put him by my side. I really like this guy because I think he is unifying Democrats and Republicans alike. I've been having a look at the comments section, and it just seems that everybody loves this guy, and he's just making people laugh. And I've got here, you know, I think his fame is connecting him with Saturn in Pisces. It's just kind of interesting how we've got a foreign person who's uniting America. I just find this to be fascinating. So definitely check out the little shorts videos by at Real Chinese Trump. I just think he's brilliant, and he just makes people smile, gives people a reason to laugh each day. I've certainly been clicking on his little shorts videos now and then because they're just fun. So Rahu in Aquarius. Let's just check this out quickly for the collective themes. I've got here Rahu in Aquarius, people-powered movements, people-powered politics, grassroots movements. People will continue to protest, and more crucially, more and more people will be waking up to the truth that life is not what the media and the governments are telling us it is. So that is Rahu in Aquarius, definitely protesting, people standing up, people power continues. And I've also got this other collective theme for Rahu in Aquarius. I watched, and I'll put it by my side, I watched a little clip by, I think it was 60 Minutes Australia, and they were talking about how people are falling in love with AI robots. And I watched the segment on 60 Minutes and I thought, wow, that is a slightly worrying development out there in the collective. And they're saying that over the next 5 years, this kind of thing will be on the rise. And we are here, Rahu in Aquarius, and I think this is a mental health issue. And I think it is sad, actually, is what I do think. And I think that everybody needs to be conscious of what they're consuming. And we can all do that, you know, even without going too far into this whole people falling in love with AI robots thing. I think it's important for all of us to just keep an eye on what we are consuming. Am I consuming too much of this kind of content? Am I addicted to this kind of content? You know, we need more social media detoxes, breaks from all devices. You know, have a weekend off, have a whole weekend where you're out in nature and no devices, no internet, no TV, none of these things. I think it's really important across this transit to just keep an eye on what you're consuming. Don't over-consume anything. And yeah, I just think that's really going to be important. So now, personally, how will this work out? Well, I think I've sort of touched on that a little bit here with Rahu in Aquarius. Personally, I think one of the things we need to do with Rahu in Aquarius is we need to just keep an eye on what kind of content are we consuming. Are we becoming addicted to something? And, you know, you want to be checking in with sort of the state of your mental health. I think that's important. But otherwise, what have I got here? Rahu in Aquarius. Oh, there's some really wonderful things about this transit for us personally. The number one thing is that loads of entrepreneurs will emerge from this transit. A lot of people are going to start up their thing, their career, their path, what it is that they want to do. You know, anytime we've got significant Saturn-Sun energies present, then that's the hallmark of the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur in their birth chart, for example, will have a Saturn-Sun conjunction, or will have Saturn lorded by Sun, or Sun lorded by Saturn, or Saturn-Sun opposition or aspecting each other or something like that. There will be a significant Saturn-Sun thing going on in the chart of an entrepreneur, because what you want there is you want the ability to be authentic, being yourself. That's important, but it's like sustained over a long period of time. That's one of the things that you want. And actually, I'm going to link to a 1-minute shorts video by Jiddu Krishnamurti. I'll put a little image of it by my side, but you can click on that in the link below. And it's just 1 minute. I think that's a short's longer these days. I don't know. I've been watching some long shorts lately. I'm not sure. Maybe it's more than a minute, but it is short. And someone's just kind of sliced together all the little bits of wisdom he's giving to a small boy. And that's a good video for entrepreneurs to watch, because he just gives it straight, and he himself in his chart has got exalted Sun opposite exalted Saturn. And he himself is running that Sun-Saturn energy very, very strongly in his chart. And he lived that kind of a life as well. Now let's see, I've got here with Rahu's Lord being in Pisces. This will give a lot of people the opportunity to travel or permanently relocate to a new country. So that is a possibility across this transit. And it's definitely time to be more social. Go out, hang out with groups. Group activities will be on the rise, workshops, spiritual retreats, all this kind of thing. People should enjoy and relax more if possible. Rahu's in Aquarius. Aquarius can be driven and hardworking, but it's also hopes, dreams and wishes there in Aquarius. So, you know, if your dream is to get away for a bit, this is a good transit to do it. Now, Ketu in Leo, for us personally, well, creativity is coming back online. Art, comedy, singing, music. And I've got here whatever was denied from 2020 to 2023. And even, you know, from 2023 to 2025, we could say that because Saturn has been in his own 2 houses from 2020 to 2025. So it's a big shift. We've got new, fresh energy here. So if anything's been denied to you over the last few years, for whatever reason, you know, maybe you've been delayed on something because you've been needed elsewhere, and there are all kinds of reasons. But I've got here, any suppressed or old creativity has to come out now. Ketu does represent our output. So I do think there's going to be a rise of creative output and people expressing themselves and being themselves as well. And I've also got here Ketu in Leo. People aren't enamored with luxury anymore. People are being real and enjoying more minimalist lifestyles. So that's another trend that you're going to see in the collective. I'm pretty sure I've covered all the newsy bits, everything. Yep, we've done everything. So we're going to go through all 12 signs and we're going to take a look. And if you want to join me for that, you're very welcome. We're going to start with Aries. Aries, welcome Aries. Thank you so much for joining. So this is Aries Ascendant, Aries Moon, or Aries Sun as per the sidereal Vedic system of astrology. All right, so what have we got going on, Aries? Well, I've got your chart in front of me as well. Now for you, Rahu's transiting your 11th house. So this is an excellent time to grow your social networks or your social media platforms. You might have a glow up, all of that. Now, if you are self-employed, you could gain a lot of new clients at this time. You can grow additional income streams. You could encounter a lot of exciting new opportunities at this time. It's good for you, definitely, to be out and about, be with people, be part of the world. You know, if you've been spending too much time at home, well, it's kind of interesting. I'm just checking in with your Saturn right now, and I mean, yeah, that could be isolating. So it's a little bit of both here. Be guided on that. Your intuition will show you what you need energetically at any given time. Sometimes you might be needing to isolate due to your Saturn position. So it's interesting. You've got a variety of energies available to you with this Rahu Ketu shift. Now with Ketu in your 5th house, your creative output can be very stable. It's a great time to become more philosophical in your outlook. You might be inspired to read ancient texts or learn something relating to your field of endeavor. There's something stable about, as well, home as well, or where you live, or in some ways you might feel a little bit stuck with that if you were looking to move or change that, but it depends what you would have going on in your birth chart. But anyway, I've got here your Rahu is in one of the best positions, definitely. Now Rahu transits beautifully 3rd, 6th, and it does pretty good in the 10th, but it does great in the 11th. So you are one of the lucky 3 signs, Aries, to be experiencing a really good Rahu transit. So in order to connect in with that, it's a matter of connecting in with your desire and what you want. So that energy is in one of the best houses possible for you to build, to grow, to experience new things. So it's going to be a good transit here for you, Aries. Thanks so much for joining. We are now going to welcome Taurus. Taurus, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So this is Taurus Ascendant, Taurus Moon, or Taurus Sun, as per the sidereal Vedic system of astrology. So what have you got going on, Taurus? This is very nice. I'm liking this. So now for you, Taurus transits your 10th house. Rahu transits your 10th house. I'm so sorry. A little verbal typo there just at the very beginning. Let's have a look here. This is a very good transit for your growth in your career. It's good to be ambitious and driven at this time regarding your career. Network with the right people. Switch jobs if a better opportunity comes up. This is a good time to be switching jobs. Or applying for jobs or getting work, any of that. That's all great. And wow, you've got a beautiful Saturn there in the 11th house. So this is excellent for you to really prosper and grow in terms of career. When I look at where your Saturn is seated, this is very good energy, Taurus. Very well timed, actually, to have these two. So to have Rahu in your 10th and Saturn in your 11th. Beautiful. Great for career. Now with Ketu in the 4th house, this can maintain stability at home. I actually like this energy for you because it gives me this sense of you don't have to worry about home so much. You can be out in the world, you can put your focus on building, on growing, on accelerating your life and the things that you want to do. I've got here, it can maintain stability at home. It can mean you spend some time away from home as well. You could be traveling due to work, for example. You might have less engagement with your home or your mother or relationship with mother. There's something about that isn't high priority, or maybe she doesn't need you as much and you're released to do your own thing. If, say, for example, that is a thing there, but there's something about you being out in the world is great at this time. I've got here, work demands might be so intense that you're not at home very much. Yeah, it could be like that. Maybe as well, if you always worked from home, maybe there might be more opportunity for you to work from other locations. That's also another thing to consider here. I've got here, you might need short durations of rest at home, but you will be itching to get out into the world or engage in your purpose at this time. So that's more likely to be the focus there. Brilliant energy, Taurus. I really like the setup that you've got. We are now going to welcome Gemini. Gemini, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So this is Gemini Ascendant, Gemini Moon, or Gemini Sun, as per the sidereal Vedic system of astrology. So what do you have here, Gemini? Well, you've got Rahu transiting your 9th house. This is really a great transit to pursue higher education or qualifications that will improve your status at work. There could also be something about you going up the career ladder or you being noticed by people above you. I've got here, yeah, your work is acknowledged by superiors and you could get a promotion at work. This is time to be driven. The only thing that could slow down progress for you, your Saturn is in the 10th house. So Saturn in the 10th, Saturn is like this in the 10th. Saturn only lets you go up if you're really, really good. So you might have to work hard. But Saturn in the 10th is actually very good because you will never have imposter syndrome with that position. You have earned it. Okay, so that's your Saturn in the 10th there. But you've got promising stars to progress. Now, with Ketu in your 3rd house, this is actually good for your health. This could be good for your health. It could also be good for your mind even, or some stability to your mind, especially if you meditate or any of that, or you're very much on your spiritual path. This could be just lovely for your mind actually as well. I've got here, there could be more interaction with siblings, and if there are past troubles with siblings, those issues might come up to be resolved across this time. But other than that, it's looking like a very good transit here for you, Gemini. All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in. We are now going to welcome Cancer. Cancer, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So this is Cancer Ascendant, Cancer Moon, or Cancer Sun, as per the sidereal Vedic system of astrology. So now for you, Rahu is transiting your 8th house. So this might require you to put more attention on your family relationships. Equally, it could make you very interested in the occult. You might be drawn to studying occult practices, occult techniques. You might be interested in meditating more. You might, that might become quite a focus. It could be a time where psychic gifts or abilities enhance or crack open for you. It's pretty amazing. I do readings for a lot of people who, they tell me that just a few years ago, they didn't believe in any of this stuff, or they didn't care about it. And now, like, what I'm discovering through my client work is that people are having massive, major awakenings, like where they completely change their lifestyle within a few years, like even 2 to 3 years. I've been working with some people, and it's like, wow, and it's been interesting to observe, because for me it's all been a very slow and gradual, long-term thing, where I started having interesting things happen in my early 20s. So for me, it's been a long, slow journey. But I'm seeing some people are having the speed. This is the thing that's been fascinating for me. What might have taken me 20 years or something, people are having that amount of awakening, boom, in a year or two, kind of thing, is what I'm discovering through the client sessions. It really is quite incredible. So maybe not a year. There's one, I'm thinking of one person in particular. She 2 to 3 years. She completely transformed her life. Yeah, so pretty amazing. So you might find there's some acceleration of change in your life. It could be like that with the Rahu in the 8th. Now your Ketu in the 2nd house, this might stabilize you financially, which is good. There could also be unexpected expenses. So I've got here, it's just good to be financially conservative at this time. Definitely keep pursuing, building your savings or growth, or keep pursuing success in the world. Absolutely. That's a spiritual task as well. Because when we pursue a goal in the outside world, what happens is that our blocks to the success get shown to us, and that becomes our true work. Okay, so it's all good. So definitely keep pursuing your financial goals and material goals. But I've just got the note here with the Ketu in the 2nd house there, it can be just a little bit, you can be trying a lot of stuff, but it's just status quo gets maintained. It can be like that. But your Rahu in the 8th, you might be interested in law of attraction techniques and going beyond and making it happen anyway, so do all of that. Now I've got here old issues with family members or childhood connections might surface for healing at this time. That is a possibility, yeah. Some old issue could crop up from the past that you have to deal with. Now, but you know, you can heal it. You've got Ketu there. You can heal something significant. Now I've got here, this could be a transit that contains experiences that get you to parent yourself or reparent yourself and not depend on others so much. Could be that there's something that occurs to you when this axis shifts, and yeah, you kind of discover, you learn that, okay, I need to do it myself. Something along these lines could be one of the things that becomes clear at this time. Otherwise, this looks like a very transformative and possibly very enlightening transit for you, Cancer. I'm excited. Thank you so much for joining. We are now going to welcome Leo. Leo, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I'm checking the time. We're okay. Leo, this is for you. Something here for you. Leo, Aquarius, that's the big shift going on. So let's take a look. So now for you, Leo, Rahu transits your 7th house. This is quite good energy, actually. And one of the things that's beautiful here is that it's a good time to fall in love or create a committed relationship. You might really feel like you might be looking around at your life going, okay, there's something missing. And you might discover, yeah, it's a partner. And you might have the energy and space and everything to go after that and create that and make that happen. So it could be to do with love and a committed relationship. Equally, it could be to do with your business. So especially as an occult practice, if you're a healer, light worker, any of these things, this is amazing energy because you've got your Saturn in the 8th as well. So this could be a time where you are creating your career path in your thing, in the thing that you want to do, you know, whatever that thing is, you might be creating your pathway on something that's more you. Let's have a look here. So that's with your Saturn in the 8th. Your hard work can really be seen and acknowledged by the marketplace or by an audience at this time. So this is really great energy for artists, definitely. And I've got here, you might travel internationally at this time as well. So yes, that's a strong possibility. You could be taking your work abroad. I know I did a reading for someone recently who she's going to be taking her work to multiple cities across America. It's so exciting, and yeah, that is great. So, and that could be like if you're an artist or something, and I don't know, like, do they do like gallery exhibitions? Yes, exhibitions like in different cities and things like that. This kind of energy is here. Now with Ketu in your 1st house, at times you might be made to feel like an outsider or that you are on your own. So it's quite interesting because there's quite a social energy on the opposite side, but the Ketu vibe on the Leo side, that could make you feel isolated or alone. So I feel like you're going to have a mixture. You're going to have periods of both across this year and a half. Times where you're just on your own, but equally times where it's hectic and busy and you're in demand. I've got here, being on your own will deepen your spirituality and relationship with God. So definitely don't worry if you have chunks of this transit where you are alone. I've got here, you will become more spiritual, and as a result, your art and your output will be far more distinguished and creative than anyone else's. I think that's one of the things that this transit can help you with. It can really help you stand out, be original, be unique, and you're the only one offering the particular thing that you do in the particular way that you do it. You're the only one doing that, you know, and you might be part of a group or a marketplace where there's 10 million people offering the same thing, but it's like during this transit you can really figure out, okay, what is your unique magic and how to sharpen yourself and your offering so that it's just completely unique. There's nobody like you. Something like this. That's what's going to matter here, Leo. And you'll love that challenge because you're Leo. That's what Leo is all about, being unique. All right, well, thank you so much, Leo. We are now going to welcome Virgo. Virgo, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So what have you got going on here, Virgo? You've got Rahu transiting your 6th house. I love this. This is so good. So this is excellent energy to build your career. It should provide you with good physical energy too. Now, if you come across challenges or difficulties, I've got here, meet them with courage and you will be victorious. And this is definitely a winning position for Rahu. Equally, if you come across any health challenge or anything like that, take care, rest, recover, don't overwork. But it's like with the Rahu in the 6th, I feel like you might figure something out about your health, or you might overcome some kind of health thing, or you might read spiritual books because we've got that Ketu in the 12th house. You might be reading some spiritual books that will really help you figure out, okay, what is going on in my consciousness that's creating these symptoms in my body? And I'm going to write down some books for you to check out. Definitely Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. At the end, she gives a list of mental patterns and what illness that could be creating and things like that, and then what affirmation to use instead. So she's got a great system around that. You could also check out John E. Sarno's Healing Back Pain. You could check out Dr. David Hawkins' Healing and Recovery. These are the books that I would recommend. These are books that I have turned to and they've helped me figure out some health things of my own. And of course, work with your doctors, work with the medical practice, because I believe God and the divine works through the medical practice as well, okay? But, at some point you can even just work with the books I've mentioned and you can heal a lot of things, because there are a lot of things that the medical profession, they don't have anything for it. So for that, we need these books, and that's why I mentioned them. All right, so let's have a look at Ketu in your 12th house. Yeah, so I feel like you could figure some things out about your health across this time. With Ketu in your 12th house, you will benefit from short getaways, holidays, or trips to places where you can really recharge. You might be inspired to do like a 10-day meditation retreat, or even just a little day trip to the beach, just to change the energy. So I do that every now and then. I just take a little day trip somewhere and I just change the energy, and because I don't want to be at my desk all the time. So yeah, that's going to be a good thing for you, Virgo. But yeah, interesting about the figuring out the health stuff. But ultimately, Rahu in the 6th, great for career. And it should give you energy, physical energy. It should energize you. You should feel, that can-do spirit should come back online for you if it's been lost at times. All right, so let's take a look. Thank you so much, Virgo. We are now going to have a look at Libra. Libra, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I'm looking at the time, 27 minutes. It's going to cut out, but let's carry on. It's got about a couple of minutes to go on the memory card. What have you got going on, Libra? Well, for you, Rahu transits your 5th house. This is beautiful energy. You've got your Saturn in the 6th. Wow, Libra. It's all about the Librans at this time. You guys have got the good stuff, let me tell you. Now, I've got here, if you're at the right age and you're planning for it, you might even be able to have a child at this transit. So I don't know if that applies to anyone out there, but if you are trying for that, this is good energy that could help you. But either way, this is great energy for all creative professionals. Whatever you want to give birth to, maybe you want to publish a book that you've been working on for a while, or maybe you want to start something, maybe you want to create something. This is wonderful energy for that. Equally, if you have children, this is a great time where you are able to spend more time with them, or somehow your kids are more in focus across this transit. I've got here, otherwise this energy could be channeled into creative projects, or building up some aspect of your own personal kingdom. Maybe you're doing renovation or something on your place, the place where you live, or I don't know, there's some growth here, and something that you personally can benefit from and enjoy. Now with Ketu in the 11th, this is actually beautiful Ketu energy here. So you can attract new opportunities, you can create new sources of income, your investments can grow, you might make new friends for life at this time. Soul tribe people, you might find them. Now I've got here, at minimum, life should be stable, but at best you can really grow. Okay, so that's great, because in a couple of the other signs I've been saying that, you know, at minimum you'll be stable, but things might go down, kind of thing. Whereas for you, I'm like, at minimum with your Ketu, it's stable or you're going up. So your Ketu position is really outstanding here. Libra, I'm loving all of this for you. Enjoy, because you got your Saturn in the 6th, and that in itself is a very, very good thing. All right, we are going to welcome Scorpio. Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome, Scorpio. So this is Scorpio, ascendant Scorpio, moon or sun, as per the sidereal Vedic system of astrology. So what have you got going on, Scorpio? Well, you've got Rahu transiting your 4th house. So you might be required to spend more time at home across this transit, just at various times. You know, there might be some need for you to be at home more, or to work from home, possibly. I've got the note here, it's good for you to take care of your health and to make sure you don't overwork across this transit. So yeah, you don't want to be working too hard here, Scorpio. I've got here, you might also spend more time with family across this transit, and somehow family matters are taking more of your attention in life. So it could be that your family needs you more, it could be that your mother needs you more. There's something to do with family, personal life. There's something to do with, or you needing to have more of a personal life. You know, maybe it's that. Maybe you've been working too hard and you're just like, I don't have a personal life. You know, maybe it's that, right? You have to build that. So it could be something like that. So it depends on some of the other factors you've got going on in your chart, but that's one of the things I'm seeing. Now with Ketu in the 10th, your current place of work should remain stable. So if for some reason there is a loss of a job, you will be able to quickly find new work. So I'm not seeing any problem, or I'm not seeing any loss of job at all. What I am seeing is like something is stable. So I remember this when I've looked back at my past transits, and I've been able to see when Ketu is in my 10th, I've seen that, yeah, the job stays. Like it doesn't, you know, there's like a status quo that gets maintained sometimes where Ketu is transiting. So don't be worried if there is any loss or change to job, because I feel like you will quickly get back into work. I've got here, there will be success after obstacles. So don't let anything worry you regarding this transit. And I've got here, it might be that you work very hard with little recognition across this time. It could manifest in that way. There's something about stability and status quo, and it's just the same, you know. So yeah, it's not the most exciting transit from that point of view in terms of what it might deliver materially or professionally, but you might be able to, well, you might be able to rest a little bit, you know, and not work so hard. I mean, because if things are stable on the work side, then maybe you can afford to devote yourself more to your family life or your personal life. I've got here, yeah, you know, it might be that you work hard with little recognition, and I've got here, but it's okay. Saturn sees everything. Your efforts will be acknowledged. That's the thing to bear in mind. Scorpio, thank you so much for joining. We are now going to welcome Sagittarius. Sagittarius, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So this is Sagittarius ascendant, Sagittarius moon, or Sagittarius sun, as per the sidereal Vedic system of astrology. What have you got going on, Sag? Oh, I love this. You've got a great transit. So Rahu transits your 3rd house. This is a winning position for Rahu. I've got here, you can succeed at this time, you can earn money, you can win clients, you can be recognized for what you do. This can be very abundant for you in a lot of different ways. Okay, so it's not just money. There's something about like your confidence is up, and maybe your mind is excited and energized again. You're excited to do things. I've got here, you can switch jobs, you can go up the career ladder, you could be promoted at this time. And I've got here, be sure to share your ideas. This is your time to shine. Now, Ketu transits your 9th house. So this is a little bit of a tricky energy right here. So on the one hand, your Rahu is shining. It's doing great. But it's this placement that might cause you some challenges. I've got here, there could be challenges in relationship with father, in relationship with authority figures. So that's bosses, teachers, any of that. I've got here, it's okay. Try your best with Rahu. But if you're not succeeding, then just retreat into the Ketu energy a little bit. So I've got here, be a bit humble and invisible at times as a remedy if you can clearly see that things aren't going your way. Okay, if things aren't going your way, take the foot off the accelerator. But equally, find ways. You'll find ways with the Rahu. Rahu is very clever. In Rahu in the 3rd, you'll find ways to get ahead. But the other thing I would actually also say is don't be doing any shortcuts. Where's your Saturn? Yeah, probably not a good idea to be doing any shortcuts or any of that. But it's very good energy here on the whole. I think you're going to enjoy this transit, Sagittarius. All right, thank you so much for joining. We are now going to welcome Capricorn. Capricorn, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. This is Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Moon, or Capricorn Sun, as per the sidereal Vedic system of astrology. What have we got going on here, Capricorn? This is very nice. I've got here for you, Rahu transits your 2nd house. This is good energy for accumulating wealth and savings. I've got here, just make sure that everything you do it with integrity. That's important, and that's got something to do with, like, if you're writing emails or sending out documents or whatever it is. I've got just the advice and the guidance here that write every single email as if a court of law would be reading it. I know that probably sounds a bit intense or something, but it's not. It's just a good practice to be in, that when you write some form of communication, you're considering that it could be, let's say you're writing a work email and you're writing about someone else's boss. Well, you want to be writing that email considering the possibility that this person is going to forward your email to that other person. Is that kind of thing that I'm talking about here. I've got here, even when you're writing to just one person, write with the consciousness that you could forward my email anywhere and to anyone, and that's fine. Okay, so see if you can develop that practice with the energy of this transit. I've got here, don't go for shortcuts or get rich quick schemes. Yeah, there's something about, you might be wanting to make money here, but yeah, don't go for shortcuts or get rich quick schemes. And you're Capricorn, you wouldn't do that anyway. But I've just put that in here. I've got here, the right path will provide you the patience that you need to continue for the long haul. That's something that I'm discovering as I go. As I go on my pathway, I'm like, the right pathway for you, it gives you patience. It gives you courage. It gives you all these invisible virtues and qualities that you didn't even know you needed. The right pathway will give you all these things. So be on the lookout for that as you build your pathway going forward. Now, your Ketu in the 8th house could challenge you a bit at times. I've got here, it might tire you out a bit. So definitely don't overwork, and remember to listen to your body. This is a platform building time for you as per your Saturn. You're in the good time now, Capricorn. I'm so happy. And I've got here, true rest is vital. That Ketu in the 8th will enable you to experience true rest when you need it. Okay, maybe you're coming out of quite an intense, say for example, 7 to 8 years, and it's perfectly fine across this next year and a half that if you just want to do nothing, then be there with that Ketu in the 8th and do nothing. It's good for you. It's good. Sometimes doing nothing is more productive for us because ideas come to a rested mind, so you might be needing some rest. I've got here, in that space of true rest, you can visualize the things you want to create. They will come to form in time. So yeah, you're running the big circuit here, Capricorn. You've got the big Saturnian energy, and you've got big dreams that take time to make. So yeah, nothing's an overnight job with either Capricorn or Aquarius. So I know. All right, well, thank you so much for joining, Capricorn. I'm loving what you got here, by the way. I think it's going to be really good. We are now going to welcome Aquarius. Aquarius, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So this is Aquarius Ascendant, Aquarius Moon, or Aquarius Sun, as per the sidereal Vedic system of astrology. All right, what have you got going on, Aquarius? Well, this is all about you. This is your transit. Rahu transits your first house. This is big. I've got here, it's time to be yourself. It's time to be your weird, wacky, creative self. What did Dolly Parton say? She said, find out who you are and do it on purpose. That's what you got to do. I've got here, in fact, you have a year and a half to experiment with who you are and what you want to be going forward. Perhaps it's time to change how you look. Maybe it's time to do some radical change that you've been wanting to do for a while. You might even move during this transit. It's just one possibility. Depends on what you've got going on in your birth chart, of course. Got here with Ketu in the 7th house. It is possible that some close connections might drop out of your life at this time. I've got here, if your marriage is in need of repair, then definitely work on your partnership at this time with a therapist, as this could be a time where partner leaves. Okay, you've got Ketu transiting the 7th house. That is a sort of a cutting energy there. So you want to take care of relationship with partner. I've got here, this transit can really teach you how to be a great partner. I've got here, you will learn that relationships can go very well if you don't touch the other person's free will. Just let the other person be who they are, grow in their way. Don't touch somebody else's free will. It's an unusual piece of advice when you're in a close, intimate relationship, but I'm finding that through working with clients, a lot of clients have told me they very much appreciate this advice, that they understand what I'm saying and that they realize the importance of that concept, to not touch somebody else's free will. Yeah. It's we're all learning how to mature, we're all learning how to grow, we're all learning how to be with each other, and these are seemingly small things, not touching a person's free will, but for some people that will be hard to do, and it's for the people where they find it hard to do, those are the people that need to do that bit of homework there. I've got here, in fact, if you honor and respect another person's free will, relationships can really prosper at this time. We've got a very spiritual Ketu moving through your 7th house. So this is learning how to have a sacred relationship. Okay, so if you want to bring a sacred quality to your partnership, I think that's something that I've learned as well over time, that like, when I was very young, for me, love and security used to go together. And now that I'm a lot more further on my spiritual path, I realize that love and freedom go together. And the person that you can give a huge amount of freedom to, that's what you want to be able to do. That's really, really important. And with your Rahu there in Aquarius, this is a time where you might be needing some freedom of your own as well. There's something about freedom here in this transit for you, Aquarius. And I think you'll be pursuing your own personal sense of freedom. but you must give that freedom to the other, the significant other in your life as well. Something like this is what's going to help at this time, Aquarius. All right, well, thank you so much for joining. We are now going to welcome Pisces. Pisces, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. How are you, Pisces? I hope you're doing great. What have we got going on? All right, I'm having a look here. So now you've got, oh, by the way, this is for Pisces ascendant, Pisces moon, or Pisces sun, as per the sidereal Vedic system of astrology. All right, what have you got going on? So now you've got Rahu transiting your 12th house. This is kind of interesting, actually. I've got here, you might find it hard to focus at this time. And I've got here, you might suffer from a little bit of procrastination now and then, but that's okay. We all need downtime in life. And for you, some downtime could actually be productive. This could be the kind of transit where you figure out what amount of downtime you need to make yourself more productive. Okay, you might figure out how to structure your day so that it's better or easier, or that you get to the end of the day and you're still feeling refreshed. There's something about you figuring out that I need to build in some downtime into my day. So maybe you need to meditate, yes, in the morning, but also before lunch as well. Or maybe you need, I don't know, lots of different people do different things. There's a coach that I've done some work with, and she has a little nap after lunch, just every day without fail. That's been great for her health. So it's about experimenting with and figuring out some of these things, I think. I've got here, it's good for you to visualize the things you'd like to create in the future. And it's a good time to do Neville Goddard style meditations, or I think his name is Joseph Murphy, or, law of attraction, all that law of attraction type stuff. Joe Dispenza does a lot of that type of stuff as well. There's a lot of good practitioners of this type of thing. I've got here, it's good to enjoy a bit of escapism via books and films that you love. Yeah, if you want to go to the movies, go to the movies, or there's a Piscean I know in Sydney, and yes, he is frequently going to the movies. I've not gone to the movies. I don't even know when was the last time I went to the cinema. The reason I don't go anymore, for like years I haven't gone, it's because I fly home to Sydney, Australia, and that's where on that long flight I watch all the films. At that time I just do all like binge watching of films over 24 hours, so that's how I get to watch films. But yeah, I mean, you might enjoy a bit of escapism, going out, a bit of socializing. That would be good for you too. You've got Saturn in the first house, Ketu in the sixth. Now, this should keep your career and life ticking along very nicely. Okay, so this is a good energy for your career. This is good energy. You've got power in that area. You can be producing. You can be creating. As a status quo being maintained here when it comes to your work. Yeah, I've got here, it should maintain the status quo of your material life. Yeah, that should just keep ticking along. I've got here, this is actually good for keeping illnesses at bay. If you do have any form of illness, you should be able to overcome it in a powerful way. And I've got here, you will need times of rest, and short trips away will be very good for you at this time. Definitely having short little trips. Yeah, I keep being drawn to that Rahu in the 12th house and that whole escapism thing, that's going to be good for you. With your Ketu there in the 6th house, that should keep your energy good and strong. Equally, there could be, you might have, they often say with the nodes, like especially in the 6th house, there could be mysterious illnesses or things that the medical profession can't work out. So it could be there's something like this that might come up there with the Ketu in the 6th. But equally with the Ketu there, it's like you might be able to figure out how to heal it through your consciousness, or work out how to heal it at consciousness level, and then your body just responds. I'll put a couple of book titles on the screen I've just told it to another sign. And you can check out these books to work out what's the consciousness connection with, you know, what your body is experiencing, and yeah, what needs healing in your consciousness, kind of thing. The camera battery just ran out. Guys, I think I've covered everything. You will need times of rest. Short trips away will be very good for you at this time. Yeah, I've covered everything. Any Pisces moon people here? How are you doing, Pisces moon? I haven't checked in with any other moon signs, actually, with the Sadi Sati. I need to remember to look out for the Aries moon people, because they're at the beginning now, and so I don't think of Sadi Sati when I'm at the Aries place, but I think about it when I'm here, so I need to look after the Aries people as well. But Pisces moon, this is your intense time. Your Saturn is in that intense sort of, yeah, area. You'll be all right, Pisces. Keep going with it. It's I'll point you to the Jiddu Krishnamurti video below. He gives some good advice. It's just a minute or so long. I don't know, these shorts videos, they're seeming to get longer, but this is a good one because he just gives some stern Saturnian advice, and I really enjoyed watching it. I found it very helpful and therapeutic for me. But yeah, I think your work should be a solace at this time, Pisces moon. Work is a solace for you. And that can be the case for all of us. You know, I have that where sometimes, yeah, I go through days and I just think, what is this world all about? But then, do you know what helps me? It's when I think about you guys. It's when I think about my clients and what they're up to and some of the amazing people that are booking. That lifts my spirit. Yeah, so it's so good and important to be engaged in work that you love. Really, really important. And I recommend, yeah, everybody to be in work that they absolutely love. All right, well, Pisces, and anybody who's watched the whole video, if you've left me on in the background by mistake, thank you so much for tuning in. And I will be back with another video. I think gosh, look at that, 7th May today. It'll be June Outlook is the next video. I just can't believe how fast this year is going. Like, really, it's been a speedy year. It's a good thing, I suppose. See, with your Saturn in the first, some of you might not be so speedy. Oh, actually, you know, this should be better for you than the last transit. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.